It's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody.
We are in a state of emergency. Prejudice. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it go. Free your mind.
When I get up in here, everybody, I'm fucking this nigga up, everybody. I'm tired of these niggas, man. I'm trying to work, do my thing, and niggas are clowning me and fucking up my career, everybody. I can't live like this, everybody. These niggas gonna have to die, everybody. Keep fucking with me, everybody. Keep fucking with me. Keep fucking with me, everybody. Keep fucking with me. Keep fucking with me, everybody. Keep fucking with me.
How do you guys feel about Terry frowning like that with her album? You guys' album
She thinks she's cute.
She thinks she's cute.
That's all I got to say.
She crew.
Terry thinks she's cute, huh?
Thanks, hon.
She came out with a different attitude after that.
Like no none to me. I don't know we did ourselves.
That's old school. Life has changed. I want the rap. Wait, what was that? Mr. T did in Rocky. What was that? Rocky 3. Was it Rocky 3? Get them cameras off my face.
There we go. I don't have a lot to say. Come to see Terry. That's Terry, Cindy, and Rona.
I trust that feeling. Does anybody have any questions of me before I get out of here? Let's see what you guys are saying. What's up, soul sister Rona? Hey, Taalik. I'm the brother that did Mike Jackson in Tunica, Mississippi. Hey, now. Hello to Terry. Respect. Bless up. Bless up. Bless up.
Come to see Terry. That's Terry, Cindy, and Rona. It's Terry.
It's important for the black youth especially to know that we did have a history and that we did great things and that we had great people, and those things were not in the history books when I was in school. And what I'd like to be doing 5 years from now is attempting to rewrite the history books so that they'll know that.
Okay, thank you for donating to my uncle Taalik. I appreciate it, and I know that my family appreciate it because he's been in our lives for years now. So, yeah. And I just want to say thank you because, yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, and we love you guys. Mwah. Bye. Bye. Peace forever and always.
I ordered this book, God is on Trial. I ordered this book from Amazon, and I must say I've read it. It's very well written, very thought-provoking. And so, sisters and brothers like Alberta Parrish, again, God is on Trial. It is a provocative, thought-provoking, very real and honest point of view regarding the gods of major religions or of Abrahamic religions, and why those of us who follow these belief systems should be asking the same kind of questions instead of just blindly accepting and following.
Everybody who is black and interested in black people, let us sit down and find out how we can get together in one direction against one enemy and accomplish this job overnight.
This is Dusty Basement Studios, and we approve of this message.
Ring out in perfect harmony, Terry Ellis becomes the first of the divas to offer the world her singular sound. And she does just that on Southern Gal.
Message. Hey, my brother, you know I had to call you and thank you personally again. I cannot describe to you how happy I was to meet you in person, finally. That was just like amazing.
So when we look at how do we move forward and not ask or beg for reparations, how do we take reparations? Well, the initiative, our organization, we have a plan. And we're going to be taking over cities in Mississippi.
Gomane. Assemble the people, Gomane. We will not be defeated by witch doctors' illusions.
We want to make sure that we're not just working to be first, but we're working to be right. A lot of times there are situations when things are just happening so fast. It's always important to be fast, but we always want to be right.
Black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody.
We are in a state of emergency. Prejudice. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear it? Here it go. Free your mind.
What dear?
Cause I keeps it real like that. I keeps it real.
Just keep it going.
How exactly did African chattel slaves turn to slave owners themselves? It's well known that so-called black people had black slaves. This fact only makes sense if the black slave owners were native to the land and they had African slaves. The African American continues to run away from the fact that he's indigenous to America. Here are a few questions that the African American will refuse to answer. Where does the word African come from? Why don't the people in Africa call themselves African? If you're an African American, what part of Africa are you from? Since you believe the transatlantic slave narrative, where are the slave ships at? What forest was cut down to build these slave ships? Where are the museums that are showcasing the slave ships? How did the slaves survive a 1 to 3 month trip across the Atlantic where it's freezing cold, where they're packed like sardines and surrounded by urine, blood, feces, and filth? Also, if more than half of the slaves died during the trip, that would mean there was no return on investment. So why continue using expensive slave ships? What would be more easier and logical? Transporting millions of people across the Atlantic or using the people that are already on the land? What African nation is claiming African Americans? Why has no African nation sought reparations for slavery? These questions will frustrate the average African American, and he will be either ready to fight you, curse you out, or run away. No matter how much education the African American receives, no matter how many clues are given to him, he still wholeheartedly believes the narrative by his oppressor, that his roots are in Africa. Every religious belief given to the African American places him in a foreign land. The Moors point to their roots in Morocco, the Hebrew Israelites and Christians point to Israel, and the Nation of Islam point to Mecca. So in this section we're going to be comparing pictures, but I'm not going to be giving any commentary because I want people to compare for themselves and make up their mind if the African American is indeed African.
Oh, I have so much to cover. And I'm going to do it sort of fast. What I need to say is very simple. And so it shouldn't take a long time to explain what I need to explain. I am going to show us, because there are those who say that the descendants of slaves born in America, having dark skin, the people I call soul, whatever you call yourself, black, Negro, colored, African Americanist, Hebrew Israelite, black Muslim, whatever you want to call yourself. I'm talking about these persons. There are those who say that we are Africans. Okay. Then on the other side of the spectrum, we have those who say that we are the Native American people. And you see on social media, they are going back and forth. We are Africans, and you deny your African self. We are Native Americans. My grandmother was a full-blown black Cherokee, and they go back and forth and whatever. Now, I am going to show you in a very simple way. And I want you to challenge, but you cannot do it because you cannot do it. This is exactly what produced the Negro. This is exactly what produced the African Americaners. And you can keep hollering, I'm an African, all you want to. You can keep hollering, I'm a Native American, all you want to. You can be whatever you want. I'm going to show you right now, within the next 15 minutes, exactly what and who we are, with no doubt. You can't refute. You can't debunk. It's very simple, straight to the point, easy to understand. This is what happened. I'm going to start off like this. Very, very simple. Do you have your listening devices on? Can you hear? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? We're getting ready to do this. Simple example. You have dark-skinned people. Whether it makes no difference whether they are here already in the Americas or they are from Africa, it makes no difference. But what is clear is that these dark-skinned people were not the same. Listen to me. Listen. Are you listening to me? These dark-skinned people, whoever they were not the same. Even today, all the people on the African continent and around the earth, they are not the same. Some of us are trying to put all dark-skinned people into one category. You cannot do that because that's a lie. That's not true. It has never been true. Even to this day, these dark-skinned people are not one. They are different. They do different things. They speak different languages. They believe different things. They are not the same. In fact, some of them hate each other. They have dark skin, but I don't like you. So, a quick, simple example. I'm told you. Now, just using this as something to look at. Here's a dark-skinned person. Here's another dark-skinned person. Different. Here's another dark-skinned person. Different. See, all all these items that I have in my hand are different. They are not the same. But let us say they are all dark-skinned people, but they are different. And they don't like each other. I live over here. This one live over there. This one live on top of my head. They are all different, and they don't like each other. They do not associate with one another. Now here, this is what happened to us. The Europeans found out that the dark-skinned people made good slaves. So they began to round up dark-skinned people. They did not give a damn about this one. They did not give a damn about that one. They did not give a damn about this one. They don't care. The whole thing that was on the minds of an enslaver is, I need a slave. The enslaver does not give a damn whether you like the other slave. He does not care. He does not care about your differences. He does not care about your differences. Does not give a damn. The only thing the enslaver cares about is making you a good slave. So, the enslaver, regardless to whether he got the slave, he did not give a damn whether the slave came from Africa or the slave was already here. He did not care. He did not give a damn. And because of slavery, all these who were different, many of them did not even like each other. Because of slavery, they were brought together by force. They were brought together by force. And they did not like each other. Some of them probably was even enemies. But because of slavery, they was forced together. So the original stock looked like this. This one, and this one. The original stock. But after a certain period of time, they were forced to interbreed and mingle with one another. And as time goes by, in the meantime also, the slave master is raping this one. The slave master is raping that one and raping all of them. But as time goes on, this one cannot stay pure. This one cannot stay pure. This one cannot stay pure. They are becoming intertwined. They are becoming mixed. What is happening is that the slave master, in this case, the racist European Caucasian people, they are creating a brand new species of dark-skinned people. Because the babies, the offspring of these enslaved people, don't look like this. Don't look like this. Don't look like this. They carry the traits of all of these put together. Do you understand? The Caucasian people, the Caucasian slave master, created a brand new people. And I believe there's a teaching talking about how long it actually took so this new breed of people will come into existence. They say it took 64 years. That's the question. How long did it take to go from these persons and make a slave? What is the purpose? The purpose is to make a perfect slave. just like you do a cow. They take a cow and they breed a cow. One cow they breed just for milk. Another cow they breed for meat. They put all these together. And during this process, the pink people, the white man, created a new black man. And he created a new black man, and he called that black man, these new dark-skinned people, black. Prior to the Europeans, there were no dark-skinned people that called themselves black or Africans. If you notice, when you watch Roots, they only called Kunta Kinte an African. They did not call the mix, this new breed of people they had made. They did not call us, they did not call Fitler, they did not call Kunta Kinte's wife, they did not call them Africans. They only called Kunta Kinte an African. They called the others niggas, Negroes or whatever, black. Why didn't they call Fitler African? Because they knew that he was not. And so being a new breed of people, you can look like almost anybody because you carry the DNA. So it's true. You carry the DNA of a people that came from the African continent because that's part of you. The new species, the new dark-skinned people would carry the DNA of this one, the DNA of this one, the DNA of that. But they are no longer, they are not pure. You cannot call this new breed of people an African because they are not African. They never was born on African. They carry the DNA because their ancestors were that. Their ancestors was Native American or whatever these dark-skinned people was. You have their DNA, but you are no longer them. Just like a nectarine. Did you know a nectarine is a hybrid fruit? A hybrid fruit. A nectarine is a mix between a plum and a peach. It's a grafted fruit. But you cannot call a nectarine a plum. You cannot call a nectarine a peach. It has become its own fruit. It carries the DNA of a peach. It carries the DNA of a plum, but it's not a plum, it's not a peach. You're not Nigerian, you're not Somalian, you're not a native, you're not a Cherokee, you're not a Native American, you're not African, you are a Negro, you are black. That's what the slave master who created you named you. And we keep talking about African, but prior to this new dark-skinned species being created by the cracker, this Caucasian people, he called, and if you look it up, do your research, you'll see that he called the Native American people Negro first, before us. That's because chances are the main original stock was already here. And then, of course, he did import some Africans and dark-skinned people from the islands or whatever. But the original stock, the main original stock, was already here. The Negro. And that's what he called us, Negro. Dark-skinned, black. The Caucasian man created you. So there is no direct connection for the nectarine to a peach. There's no direct connection for the nectarine to a plum because it's not that. There's no connection. It's a brand new species of fruit. The black man, the American black people, you and I, we are a brand new species of dark-skinned people, neither African, Native American, or nobody on this planet. We have no connection to nobody. We are a product of slavery. Just like the milk cow, just like the Angus beef cow and the domesticated dogs and the different kinds of pigs and the fish you keep in your aquarium. We are hybrids. We are created by, we are man-made. We were not made by nature. We were not made by God. We were made by this cracker. Whether you like it or not, it's right there in your face. That's the bottom line. So just like the nectarine has its own identity, this black man, this dark-skinned person, has to have your own identity. You will not be accepted as an African or Native American, Indian, or none of that, because you are not that. And even if we were that, because of our being domesticated, any domesticated animal that's in a zoo, chances are, if you put it out in the wild, it will not be accepted by the free animals that's already out there. They know this don't belong with us. Something is wrong with this domesticated creature. Oh, man. I know you don't like it. I know you don't like what I'm saying, but you can't get away. It's true. This is what has happened. This is what happened. You're having problems and confused in identity because you're trying to be something that you're not. You're not a peach. You're not a plum. You are a nectarine. What's wrong with a nectarine? People like nectarines. People like grapefruit. A grapefruit is not an orange. A grapefruit is not a lemon. It's a grapefruit. You trying to be something that you're not. We need to understand we need a new identity that relates just to us. Trying to be something that we're not. Trying to go into places where we will never be accepted. Oh man. We are the Caucasian people's monster. They are Frankenstein. Frankenstein was the scientist, and then he created this monster, Frankenstein's monster. We are Frankenstein's monster. We are the creation of Caucasian people. That's the only God that we know of. And he is our Father. Whether you like it or not, he is our Father. That's why it's difficult for you to rebel against Caucasian people, because they are our parents. Oh, I know you upset. I know you can't handle the truth. But this process explains our behavior. This explains our behavior. This is why even when you scream black power, you talk. But it's very difficult to rebel and go against daddy. This is why you want to put on the blonde wig. This is why you copy and try to be like them, because most children want to be like their parents. You want to grow up and be like your daddy.
Yes, go. You live. Go. You stay. We belong dead.
Wow, wow, wow. Woo, I know. It's a lot to take in. It's unbelievable because we've been taught, oh, the black man is God and we kings and queens. No. You and I, we were created by slavery. We are a hybrid and a mutant from a dark-skinned people, unknown various dark-skinned people. And I would assume that the original stock was already here mainly because the population increased so quickly. You could not do that. The population, the way that it was able to just explode would be impossible if they were just shipping people all the way from the African continent, bringing them over here. It's impossible. It don't even make any sense. It takes months and months and months. And then after a time, I believe it was against the law to import slaves from other places. So the original stock, everything that was happening, it was already here. They used the dark-skinned people that was already here, and they was different. They called these people the red man. In fact, they had dark skin and they were not red. They were dark-skinned people and they had a red hue to their skin color. Most African Americans, black people, those of us who are dark, you might be dark, but you have a redness to your dark skin. Unlike many African people on the continent, because they've been in that hot climate for so long, they are dark skinned, but many of them, the hue of their skin color is like blue or just totally dark. We are not like that. And the American so-called Negro, we produce all the colors of the rainbow. Some of us can pass for white. Some of us is dark as this remote control. We can be very, very dark. If you was Native American, if you was an African, you could not produce all these colors of the rainbow. Yes, the people on the continent of Africa, you see them. They produce various colors, but not in one people. This people look like this. Do your Google search. Look at the various. There's a difference between the people that's in Nigeria and the ones who are in Somalia or the Congo. They don't produce all these colors like that. Only we do. Because that's how we was processed. We carry the DNA of many various different types of dark-skinned people, and we also, because of rape, because of exploitation, we carry the DNA of the slave master. See, that goes right back to the reason why, the reason why you have a problem with rebellion against Caucasian people because that's your mother, that's your father. These are the people that created you. Just like when you create a baby, you are the child's parents. The Caucasian people are our parents, whether you like it or not. We don't know nothing outside of Caucasian people. We've never been independent. We've never moved out of their house. You get upset with mom and dad, but you really love mom and dad. They are our parents. That's why we love them so much. We have a closeness. They are our fathers. They have been abusive parents, exploitive parents, bad creators. Nevertheless, they are all that we know. Just like a dog, as a puppy, being abused by its master, the puppy growing up only knows its master. So no matter how the master slapped the puppy around, kicked the puppy in the backside, the puppy has a great love for the master. And we have a great love for America. We are so loyal to America. We are loyal to Caucasian people because they made us. This is all that we know. We have a hatred for one another because that's how we was made. They took different various dark-skinned people who did not like each other and forced us to interbreed and intermingle with one another. That's why you don't like me. You hate me and don't even know. You hate that brother and sister. You hate that one. You don't even really know sometimes. You don't even know the reason why you don't like somebody. It's because in the process, the creation of the so-called Negro, that's what happened to us. It's part of our nature to hate yourself because we was made out of hate. Not these other things that we have been taught in Afrocentric teachings. We never was united. We never loved each other. We never was brothers and sisters. Do you understand? We have to become brothers and sisters. We must become a people. We must produce our own identity. You are not an African. You are not a Native American. So when you understand the process and what really happened to us, all our behaviors, we want to be like daddy. Daddy is a drunk. That's why many of you get drunk because we see daddy. Caucasian people. The Caucasian people are whoremongers, drunks, pedophile. Everything daddy and mommy and daddy do, we copy and do the exact same thing. They are our parents. They are the only real teachers we know of. Nobody else. We don't get no information from Chinese, from the Indians, from Mexicans, or nobody. It all comes from mommy and daddy, them. Even your Afrocentric black scholarship teachings at the root of it. And many of you know this. Many of you have made videos of it. At the root of these so-called Afrocentric black scholarship teachings, at the root of it, the information came from a Caucasian person. How the hell can a slave know about ancient Kemet? A slave know about Africa? What do a slave know about anything? You got it from your massa. You got it from mama. You got it from daddy. Their educational system. At the root of it, that's where it all comes from. And that's why you say you black. Because you African. Because your mama and your daddy, the Caucasian people, taught you that. And then you have our historians and our scholars. They use their expertise to prove mommy and daddy is right. And just ignore the process that I just told us about. What happened and caused us to come into being. We are a brand new version of a dark-skinned people created to be the perfect slave. And we are. You will never find nobody on this planet with the type of slave mentality that the American Negro has. Slavery is all that we know. That's why we behave the way that we do. Woo, man. Woo is a hell of a thing. And if we go back to the Frankenstein story, there was another part to the Frankenstein story where Frankenstein, he saw that his monster was lonely, so he created a woman. He created a mate for the monster that he created. But when the female was created, oh wow, woo, it's just, When the female was created, she was in love with the creator. She had love for the massa. She had this thing for the scientists. And the scientists made her look at her mate, the monster, Frankenstein, the monster. And she looked at the monster and she started screaming. She didn't want nothing to do with that. She was screaming, ah, 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 ah! And this made the monster really, really angry. So it's no shock to me that you have a Tommy Sotomayor. It's no shock to me you have all these black men that hate black women. Because the black women come out and they screaming because they don't want, and you're right, a lot of them, they have this love for the master and don't love the black man, and she's screaming, wow, screaming her head off. Thus you produce a Tommy Sotomayor. It all makes sense when you look at it. And so now what is happening in the movie, with all that screaming and hollering, what the monster decided to do, he looked at her and he said, oh wow, He said, we both dead. So he began destroying the castle, setting things on fire, and he murdered, well, again, I don't know, both of them, they was made from dead parts, dead people, whatever. But he destroyed the castle to kill him and this new woman that was created to be his mate. And they both died in the fire and the castle. See, that's what's happening right now. You and I, because we failed to understand we are a new people, we don't understand our own creation. You got black men screaming at black women. You have black women screaming at the black man. And so now you are, and we are in the same type of mode that the monster was in. We both did. And you're destroying yourself. Kicking down the door, setting things on fire. The female monster hates the male monster. The male monster hates the female monster. And the castle start coming down. There is no people. And this shows that the black man, this new man, this shows that you are an unnatural person. You will never find in nature no male that will try to hurt and destroy his female. Nowhere. The only way you will see something like that, and most times you won't even see that among domesticated animals. So this goes to show that the American black man, you and I, are really, really, really sick. You and I are real monsters. No man, no male. I don't care what the female do. I don't care what she say or anything. No male tries to destroy his female. But the purpose of the monster was not for the male to love the black woman. It was not the purpose of the slave master to make the black woman love the black man. The purpose of producing this slave, this dark-skinned person, was to be a perfect slave and to serve Caucasian people. And you still do that. You go to the Caucasian man's military, you sing and dance, you want to entertain them. I want to be a pop star. I don't want to just sing for black folks. I want to sing for everybody. I want to sing for massa. That's what you're really saying. I don't care nothing about the BET awards. I want the Academy Award. Whatever massa got. That's what it's about. And when you talk about getting an award from another black person, you start screaming. Ah! You really don't want that. I want a Grammy. I want an Oscar. I want an NBA ring. I want whatever massa got to give. I don't want nothing from no nigga. I put that on the back shelf. I really don't care. This is what I want. Because that's how we was made. Monsters. But during the 60s and the 70s, the monster began to start coming into him and herself. And from a dead state, the monster began to understand, I need to get, in order to live for real, I need to get soul. Man. I need to get soul. So in the 60s and 70s, we did have black power. But everybody, some of us didn't want to be called black. Many of us didn't want to be called Negro or colored. But we didn't mind being or having soul. This was the beginning or the step, the process, a natural process to give yourself an identity, because deep down inside, you know you're not African. You know that you're not some Native American. You know you have no connection to nobody. It was lost. It was never lost. You never had it. You never was a god. You never was a warrior. The only thing we ever was slaves. And you should not be ashamed of it. Because even though this is how we was created, look at how we have progress. The only thing we need to do is break and understand how we was created and break these mental bonds that keep us enslaved, so that a new identity can be created. Thus, no confusion. Thus, now you can set up you can have a purpose for your life. Have a vision and control your own destiny. Be yourself. And in the 60s, we was naturally doing it by calling ourselves soul people. It was racism that created black and African and all this other nigger and colored and all this. But when we began to embrace soul is the essence of life, and we knew that we was dead inside. We want to bring life to this dead body, to a dead mind.